it's this July 20th thing that it suddenly dawned on me. What was bothering me about Erika being introduced pro-Israel and being on stage in the midst of everything Charlie was going through. July 20th-ish, Charlie vacationed in Maine for a couple of weeks. Okay, so let's just say from July 20th to July 30th, he went off radar. And this is when Mikey McCoy and Elizabeth McCoy joined them for the first time on vacation. And they capture all of these images that we're then going to see as soon as Charlie's assassinated.
Last night, Candace dropped a bombshell memory. Picture this. She's just wrapped up filming a podcast at Tucker Carlson's house in Maine, and Tucker pulls her aside to tell her he had met with Charlie and Erika just a night or two before. Tucker reportedly told her he really liked Erika and that she was hardcore against little hats and against the greatest ally. But Candace isn't buying the nice girl act. She's calling Erika a psychopath. Why? Because allegedly, Erika is one person on stage and a completely different person behind closed doors, telling different people completely different things about the exact same topics.
And then it dawned on me, I totally forgot something, okay? And I'm just going to have to ask Tucker for forgiveness for sharing this because I knew that there was something bothering me about this Maine vacation. I had a baby and I think I blacked out after Charlie sat and didn't remember that I went up to Maine too. I went up to Maine with my husband in July, okay? My son was born on May 1st. We were off air. And then the first thing I did was I went with my newborn, Roman, and my husband up to Maine to do Tucker's show.
Depending on who she's standing in front of. We're also diving into some clips from the PBD podcast where Charlie's AI video came up and things got heated fast. Patrick claims he spoke directly with Charlie's estate planner, who revealed what was actually written in Charlie's will about Erika taking over TPUSA. We'll get into that. But first, let's hear straight from Candace herself. Now is that the Erika people see today? Not even close. Andrew Colvett revealed that someone very important called Erika the very same day Charlie passed and asked her, "What do you know?" Her answer? Everything. And sources close to TPUSA confirmed that Erika was deeply involved. She knew about his struggles, the pressure building around him, all of it getting heavier by the day.
I promise you, I forgot that. I forgot that I had this. I forgot that I went up to Maine until I was looking at this Erika speech. And I was like, I know what is bothering me about this speech. What's bothering me about this speech is that when I got off air with Tucker, obviously you just have chatter, like just chatter in the air, like about everything you just discussed and what's happening and everything we said there. We're talking about and Tucker said to me, and I'm obviously, I'm not going to get this verbatim, but he was like, yeah, he talked about his SAS speech and he just said they're like, taking money from Charlie because of this whole speech. And I was like, yeah, Charlie's kind of coming over to our side. He's really had an awakening about this. It's crazy that I forgot this, but it's the second part of what he said to me. He said, I just had dinner with him and Erika. They were just here. I think he said like last night. I kid you not. They were just there in Maine having dinner with Tucker. I remember this. I am 1000% certain. Days within me, it was like Charlie was there and then I was there. And he had dinner with Erika and he said something, which is the reason why I was happy when they announced that Erika was going to be CEO, because before we could have ever known that Charlie was going to be, as we were sitting here in Maine talking about what the pressure that Charlie was under, Tucker was like, I absolutely love Erika. He said this publicly 1,000 times, so I'm not revealing anything here. And he was like, she is like hardcore on the anti-Israel train.
Candace points to July 12th as the biggest turning point, the day of Tucker Carlson's speech, when Charlie reportedly told him to go all in. Meanwhile, Erika was allegedly running a whole separate game, charming donors, playing the movement, all while telling Charlie exactly what he wanted to hear. To his face, hardcore against the greatest ally.
And that she had gone in on dinner about everything. And that, this is who Erika was. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I actually never got to spend that kind of time with her. Like, I know Charlie's coming to the other side, but I never really speak to Erika like that. And they had this dinner in the midst of all of this SAS stuff. And I happened to be in Maine. And when I look at that and I plot that on the timeline, it convinces me that Erika is a psychopath. Genuinely convinces me that Erika's a psychopath because, and please, Tucker, forgive me. I had to share that. I know you like her. I know you're a fan of Erika. I know we have different opinions and different perspectives, but this doesn't make sense. This does not make sense that Erika gets on stage and is pro-Israel, blinks and is at dinner and is anti-Israel, more anti-Israel than Tucker. I mean, than Charlie. as we're talking about all this stuff and Charlie's under pressure. And then as soon as Charlie passes away, she's up on stage with Barry Weiss saying anybody that doesn't support Israel has brain rot. That's a psychopath. That is somebody who can be someone else in every room. And we have told this story over and over again about Erika. She literally just commutes her entire personality depending on who she's in front of. Like there is no personality. It's who is the audience. I'm a Catholic if I'm in the back of a church and I'm with this donor who's got a lot of money and Stacey taps on their shoulder.
But then she's out here speaking in churches, calling that same greatest ally the greatest thing to ever happen in world history. Now, all of this is alleged. We're going off Candace's account. Maybe Tucker steps up and confirms it. But this isn't the first time Erika's contradictions have raised eyebrows. 9 months after Charlie's passing, the pattern is becoming impossible to ignore. Here she is speaking about marriage and raising children straight to Charlie's face. And then watch what she says after he was gone. We could never figure out how Erika's company sustained itself during the time frame in question. The numbers simply don't add up. And now, knowing that Charlie almost certainly never actually requested Erika take the reins of TPUSA.
And I share how Charlie was about to become Catholic, and then the woman, as I shared with you guys, gets on a plane, brings back a relic of Saint Michael because Erika's so hardcore Catholic. And then she blinks and she instructs Andrew Colvetz to deny what I said about Charlie in the Catholic Church. Like literally the next week, she okays Alex Clark coming out and saying I'm a liar. Erika's a psychopath. This is like, it just dawned on me. She was playing this game while Charlie was alive. And if I didn't do this timeline, if I didn't remember that I was in Maine having this casual conversation when everybody was friends and Charlie was alive and Charlie was under a lot of pressure, I probably would not have reflected on this little tidbit that proves that Erika's a psychopath. She wasn't a grieving widow in August and July. Okay? She wasn't a grieving widow. She was a manipulative psychopath who puts on a different outfit, a different costume, depending on what play she has to put on.
We're still out here fighting to see the original Aspen speech. All we've been handed is a heavily edited version served up by people clearly playing games. So when Erika turns around and says she's fulfilling Charlie's wishes, and that there's something biblical about it, that's not devotion, that's a red flag. If there's no documented request, no proof, then yes, that kind of talk sounds deeply calculated. Then comes that famous line about being the sole provider for her kids. As a multi-millionaire, comparing yourself to real single mothers who are actually grinding, sacrificing time with their children just to keep the lights on, you don't get to sit in that seat. It's tone deaf, it's disconnected, and it keeps painting the same picture. Now back to that AI video, the one that has people losing sleep. Erika claims she's pushing forward because it was her husband's wish. So that video matters.
I get this question too of, well, you were a stay-at-home mom and all this stuff, like that's what you should go back to doing or something like that. A lot of people don't realize that before I met Charlie, I had my own company and I still do. And it was one of those things where I built it in a way where that when I got married and had children, it could run on its own. I didn't have to do day-to-day. I could check in, but I didn't have to do day-to-day. And that's the beautiful thing is like young women in here, if you do create a company or a business and you're an entrepreneur, build it in a way that it sustains itself so that when you do find your husband and you have children, family, that's your main focus. You can have your calling on the side of your company, but your main focus is your husband and your children. And there's something beautiful in that. Unfortunately, I did not see my life being like this. I didn't. So when people are like, oh, she's now this role, I'm honoring what the Lord has put in front of me, and I'm also honoring my husband's request. And now I have to be the sole provider for my children.
During the PBD podcast, things got heated fast over whether the footage is real or AI generated. But here's where people seem confused when Colvette and Neff talked about trolling the trolls. They were not admitting the video was faked. They still insist across every platform, the video is real. The video is real. That's their line, and they're sticking to it. Their claim? They released the real footage but deliberately edited it in a way that would make people cry AI just to watch everyone spiral. Quite the calculated move. Someone also flagged online that the clip mysteriously disappeared after Andrew responded to PBD, doubling down that the video is real. And look, the core question was never just whether Charlie appears in that footage. The real question is whether the clip was manipulated in any way after the fact. That's the answer nobody is giving us. But then PBD said this. Here's the core of it all, and it's important. Let's say Charlie did put it in his will that he wanted Erika to take over. Nobody had a serious problem with that at first. She was the closest person to him.
We figured we'd troll the trolls.
Yeah.
And you get a little taste of it here.
The most important relationship in your life is the one that you have with your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
His
passion was my passion.
What's AI
and now
going to
his
tell
mission
you?
is my
Ready? Right there.
To run Turning Point USA if something happens to me.
That's fake.
Erika would do a great job.
That's AI.
How do you know that's AI?
They just admitted it.
Is that what they admitted?
Let me hear.
Out there. But then, so we knew that it was going to be like, oh, it's AI or it's fake or whatever this, because that's what they do. They always move the goalpost here. And that's why it's a sucker's game to even play this. But it was really fun to be able to
he is saying it's AI.
Troll the trolls, stuff it in their face,
They
and
put
then
that
watch
in there.
them predictably
That's not
melt
real.
down when the evidence was
guys,
shown.
I don't know if he said it's AI. He's not saying it's AI.
He trusted her, he loved her, it made sense. We went with it. But here's where it gets complicated. It was Erika herself who first brought up the existence of a video showing Charlie appointing her to run the company. Then TPUSA released an audio clip of Charlie allegedly saying those exact words. Then the Daily Mail confirmed the video exists. So when people started saying, okay, you're talking about the video, you're playing audio from the video, just show us the video that's not crazy, that's a completely fair ask. But even if we give her the benefit of the doubt, even if Charlie's will says exactly what she claims, there's still a massive problem. Approving the creation of an AI video and audio of your late husband just to solidify your position and win over supporters, that's a different level of calculated. And if that audio wasn't real, how was she smiling and walking across that AmFast stage right after hearing it play? Even if Charlie genuinely wanted her in that role, using his voice possibly without his actual consent just to silence critics is deeply troubling.
What do you mean? We got caught. Pat, they're saying that they were trolling the trolls.
Humberto, is that what he's saying?
Yes. That's not...
So do me a favor, go under the tweet and go and check to see if Grok says, somebody probably would have asked the question and say, is what was said there AI? If you can go to it, because I have two positions on this, but I want to come back to it. Okay, so let me come to you.
Yes.
While you guys are doing that, what's your problem with it?
My problem is, Pat, with all the questions and all the controversy and all the lying.
And there's a pattern here that's hard to ignore. Every time Erika finds herself in hot water online, something conveniently surfaces a video of her seriously ill mother, a love letter from Charlie, a montage, a tribute to the kids, and it all traces back to that casket video. People aren't buying it, and they're definitely not buying what's being sold right now. NihiloX said it straight, you guys lied. Fake AI, fake voice, fake Charlie. Now they're acting like they're trolling. I don't believe them. And Vinny raised something even sharper, pointing out that Andrew Colvert has repeatedly dodged one very specific question, not just whether the video is AI, but whether it was selectively edited to misrepresent what Charlie actually said. As Vinny put it, the most pressing question is whether Charlie was presented out of context, regardless of whether it was achieved through AI or selective editing. That's exactly it! That's the question being buried, and the silence around it is louder than any answer they could give. Some comments coming in hot, and they're worth reading. One person pointed out something that's been sitting heavy. The thing that makes me most confused, as if they were actually trolling, then that means that Daily Mail colluded in the lie. They put out a whole article verifying the video. And honestly,
why would you do that? Why? What? Because you know what that happens now, Pat? If this is real and you put AI and you're lying on your dead friend's name, then you have no right with all these morons that are muddying all the water, with all these idiots that are acting like this huge conspiracy. Why would you do that now? Because now you open the floodgates, Pat, to everybody to come in now and say, if you lied about this, what else did you lie about? And me personally, I do not believe them. I don't believe the whole, guys, we're trolling the trolls. And we're like, no. What are you even doing? Why would you put it in there? The her event, that's a serious, this wasn't just a, gotcha.
Humberto, ask the question.
I'm not a fan of it. Like, why would you do that?
Let's go.
Yeah, why would you do that, Adam?
May I respond?
Yeah.
And you know I love you.
Yeah.
What's your goal with Turning Point USA? I guess
before you go there,
Okay.
let's go through it. I first want to qualify if that was a yes, a specifically expert. was presented as an AI-generated or manipulated video of the organization. Okay, so perfect. So then let's go through it.
So
If
was it?
It is AI.
Yes.
So
Specifically the part where he's talked about Charlie.
yes, and by the way, if you watch the video, the lips don't match the words. It's not that hard to do. If you watch the video, the lips don't match the words.
That Daily Mail article lives rent-free in my head. Who were the journalists behind it? What was happening behind the scenes? Because Daily Mail claimed they got a private viewing and confirmed the video was real if that turns out to be false, that's a massive credibility problem for everyone involved. Next comment. The video is real. Why do you think Andrew Colvett called them out and the PBD podcast deleted the post? They used false information given by Grok. It was a mistake. But here's the thing, this stopped being about one mistake a long time ago. They're not releasing the original unedited clip. They're laughing it off, claiming they deliberately edited it to bait people into calling it AI. They lied about donors appearing in the footage. There are none. The layers of contradiction just keep stacking up. And yes, PBD running with an AI claim based on Grok alone, not a great look. We all know better than that. Then there's this comment that really landed. They are despicable, acting out of fear and cowardice. I honestly don't know how they show their faces. The guilt oozes out of them.
But what I want to know is, okay, so I talked to the estate planner of Charlie and Erika Kirk. This is a man that's a good man that Tom's known for almost 2 decades. Good guy. This is not a bad guy. This is a good guy. Your estate planner, you know what your estate planner knows, Vinny? Like my estate planner knows, as well as Tom, if something were to happen to me.
Strong words, but the frustration behind them is real. Now, Andrew Colvett just posted a clip from the recent Charlie Kirk show with the caption, "Haters will say this is AI." I hadn't seen it before this moment, so I watched it live with you completely blind. And look, the message is clear. It's their way of mocking everyone who raised questions about the AI video scandal. A little dig, a little laugh. Brushing it off like a joke. I honestly regret including that clip, but the comments say everything. Madeline B put it perfectly. You're literally begging to get called out. Just stop. We all see the act you're putting on, Andrew. Playing it off as a joke when you're probably actually terrified the truth is coming out.
Who manages the finances? How much money do kids get? What happens with the leadership team? What happens if something happens to both Jen and I? Who raises the kids? The Living Trust has all of that. So guess who knows? How many people know what's in the Living Trust? Can you, like in my Living Trust, how many people actually know?
Less than a handful.
I'm going to say outside of your family, there's probably 3. Probably a guy at Goldman, the lawyer you had to do it, me, the executor, and that's it. It's a tight group.
Okay, so now that's 3. So then you either choose to believe Tom when he says that or you don't. So if you say, I don't believe that it was in the trust, that's your problem.
Yeah.
You can dispute that. But if this is a credible guy that he said this, and Tom, I think his first name is Doug. I don't remember his last name.
That's correct.
What's his last name? If you don't know, just say it. He'll look it up. It's not a big deal, Tom. He was...
Well, I didn't know if you want to say it. It's Doug DeGroat.
No, they know that because they publicly announced that he's one of the board members. And guess what? That's what Charlie's wishes were. Now, if they have a video of Charlie saying that, and then you go do AI to say he really did say that, that's not something to joke about.
And that right there might be the most accurate thing said in this entire situation. And then someone just dropped "go forget yourself." Straight, no filter. Another comment that hit different. Hijacking TP USA and then burying Charlie's legacy is as evil as one can get. And this one went even deeper, calling out the Women Leadership Summit introduction video, pointing fingers at the AI video situation, and raising serious questions about whether all of this goes directly against everything Charlie stood for and believed in. People are flagging that creating that kind of footage and then acting unbothered is not just disrespectful, it's a betrayal. And the comment that stopped everyone cold was about Andrew. Why was he on his phone almost instantly, walking away before anything even registered? And why did Charlie allegedly tell people to look into him? That's not a small detail. That's the kind of thing that keeps people up at night. People are not okay with what they're seeing, and honestly, neither am I. I'd love to erase that laughing clip from my memory entirely. At the end of the day, all anyone wants is the truth. Real transparency. No games, no deflections, no carefully edited footage designed to confuse people. And look, I genuinely hope we're wrong about all of it. I hope there's some innocent explanation for Erika's contradictions, the inconsistencies, the strategic crying videos being pushed with serious money behind them, the trolling, the hiding. I really do hope there's another side to this story we haven't seen yet. But right now, the picture being painted is not a pretty one. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with Candace? Does Erika's behavior remind you of someone who's not being straight with the public? And do you believe Charlie actually put her in his corporate will? Drop it all in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to see it. See you on the next one.